mo kí màmá wa mo lè kí àwọn adarí Young Commission Peace Ọládélé lórúkọ mi wọ́n kọ ìròyìn fún ìwé ìròyìn civilisation. Mo fẹ́ fi àkókò yìí lu àwọn adarí Young Commission ní ọ̀gbẹ́ nítorí wípé ètò tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ ètò tó dára púpọ̀ ni. Ó ṣeé ṣe kí ìran Yorùbá bí a ti kúrò lójú ọ̀nà tí a ní ìpinnu láti wà láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ló ètò yìí yóò lè rà wá padà sí ojú ọ̀nà níbi tó tọ́. Lónìí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn obìnrin, bí a ṣe lè máa fún àwọn obìnrin ní àǹfààní láti máa figagbága pẹ̀lú ọkùnrin láwùjọ, bí a ṣe lè máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ láti gòkè, ohun tó dára ni. Mo dẹ̀ nígbàgbọ́ wípé tòní dá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ni, àwọn tó tún ń bọ̀ ní dá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin nìkan. Ṣùgbọ́n kí n tó kúrò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tòní, mo fẹ́ sọ wípé mo fẹ́ gbà nímọ̀ràn pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n gbé níbi 20 ọdún sẹ́yìn tí wọ́n dá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iléèwé lẹ̀ fún ọmọbìnrin nìkan ṣoṣo, àti àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan mìíràn tí wọ́n gbé láti ran ọmọbìnrin lọ́wọ́, mo nígbàgbọ́ wípé àjọ dọ́ọ̀ wọ́n tún lè ṣe agbátẹrù àwọn ìmọ̀ràn tó dára tí ó lè máa ran àwọn ọmọbìnrin lọ́wọ́ láwùjọ wa. Wọ́n lè gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kí wọ́n ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi àjọ, pàápàá jùlọ tó jẹ́ ti àwọn obìnrin tó ti làmìlaka láwùjọ, láti lè máa fún àwọn ọmọbìnrin kéékèèké wa tó wà nílé ìwé ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ láti kàwé ọ̀fẹ́, scholarship. Yeah, they can give scholarships to primary and secondary school courses. Àtúnṣọ́kùn lè yí wa dáadáa rẹ̀. So àti irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò lè ràn wá lọ́wọ́, nítorí pé àjọ náà fún gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló wà, wọ́n sì ní agbára láti lè bá ẹnikẹ́ni àbí àjọkájọ tí wọ́n bá rí wípé ó lè ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn láti mú ìran Yorùbá tẹ̀síwájú. Mo tún rò wípé àjọ dọ́hùn tó lè wo àwọn obìnrin tó ti làmìlaka láwùjọ lára àwọn tí màmá ti dárúkọ àbí àwọn tí màmá ò tiẹ̀ dárúkọ, wọ́n lè máa gbé wọn wá kí wọ́n máa bá àwọn èwe ìwòyí sọ̀rọ̀ kí àwọn náà fi lè máa rí wípé kò síbi tí wọn ò lè dádé láyé. Mo tún wá wò wípé tó bá ṣeé ṣe kí àjọ dọ́hùn kí wọ́n máa gbé ètò yìí lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan káàkiri gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nítorí wípé gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní àwọn ibi tó jìnnà nípínlẹ̀ Ondo, ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Èkìtì, wọ́n lè má láǹfààní láti wá sí àjọ Young Commission bí láti wá fetí sí ohun táwọn sọ. Àwọn náà dẹ̀ lè ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èrò tí ó mú ètò yìí tí ó mú lọ sí iwájú. Lákòótán, mo tún rò wípé ní àwọn ètò yìí tá a bá tó fẹ́ ṣe lọ́jọ́ iwájú yóò dára tá a bá lè kó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìwé, nítorí pé àwọn ọjọ́ iwájú Yorùbá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìwé ó ṣe pàtàkì ká kó wọn jọ kí wọ́n máa gbọ́ olú àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó mọ́gbọ́n wá tí ó dẹ̀ mú jẹ́ ká rí ibi tá a ti wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìran Yorùbá tó jáde lẹ́nu àwọn àgbààgbà Yorùbá báyìí. Mo nígbàgbọ́ wípé tí àwọn ọmọ wa bá mọ bí tá a ti ń bọ̀, tí a lè fún wọn láàyè láti ṣe dáadáa, mo nígbàgbọ́ wípé wọ́n gbé òkú Yorùbá wọ́n gbé lọ sí ju ti báyìí. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Thank you, Mr. Oladele. I want our school students to at least say something. Because she's one of us, she's in-house. But the school students are leaving us. Oh no, she will speak, absolutely. I just want to put them on notice that they will speak before they leave. Because I've been told you're leaving at 1 o'clock. We should finish by 1 anyway. Yeah?
My name is Professor Bolanle Awe. I'm a Yoruba member here at Dawn Commission. I started here in January, and I have to say before I begin that when I came to Dawn in January, culture-wise, I was lost. I didn't know anything about my culture. My parents are wonderful people, but they made a mistake in that particular part of my life, and I can say this any day, anytime. I didn't understand how big of a blunder that was until I came to Dawn. From January up until now, I mean, every day I'm just glad that I was posted to Oyo State to come and serve, and that I was fortunate enough to be posted here to come and learn about my past. I mean, my history, rather. I think the theme of this series is very apt. Our history, our future. Because as I sat down here listening to Mama speak, I couldn't have been more proud of my heritage. And ever since I was a young girl, I've always just had this desire. I'm so young, but when I was young, when I was younger, I just always had this longing to, succeed. I just felt like I could be more. And right now, I understand that that's just the Yoruba woman in me bubbling. I get it now. I finally do. And Mom, I just want to thank you so much, Ma. Just looking at you, I'm looking at what my future can be, and that's amazing. As you rank with the list of Yoruba women who have been able to break through the glass ceiling and do amazing things, even in those times, there was one thing you said when you finished. You said when they got the opportunity, paraphrasing now, they came forward. And if, for me, there's still some sort of gender inequality. I know. But then one thing I'm going to take away from this lecture today is the fact that when I find an opportunity to come forward, I will come forward. And I can't wait to share this with all of my friends. But I want to ask, Mama, is there any other thing? What would you tell me? Because I feel like you're not yet personal. I feel like what you have said is most relevant for me. And so what else would you add? What would you tell me that can help me because I'm just starting, I haven't even started. So what would you tell me as I go forward in building my home, in starting my career, in taking on opportunities, in being resilient as I pursue and go forward to make my heritage, to contribute and be part of that list for the millennials? What can I do? What would you advise me to do? Thank you, Ma'am.
Good afternoon to you, Mama. Good afternoon, Dawn Commission. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, distinguished guests here at this forum. My name is Crenshaw Bijobi. I'm with the media sector, and I will not try conversing in Yoruba because I'll most likely stop your group. So let me just stick to what I can handle. Mama, thank you so much for your highly informative and enlightening lecture on the role of women in society. It's more than clear now that role is very pivotal, especially as it concerns the retaining of our cultural values, particularly. Now, I'd like to point out that it would be slightly unfair to say that we do not have women in positions of authority today. We actually do. We have many of them, maybe not as many as women would want. All right, we have women in positions as deputy governors. We have them heading government parastatals here and there, even on the private sector as well. But what we don't see is women holding cultural roles, such as the ones you described during your lecture. You spoke about how back in the day, women were responsible for choosing who the king will be, possibly crowning a king, as well. alongside the other things you mentioned during your lecture. Now, my question is this. What would you say is responsible for the dwindling drive in our women, particularly the women from the West? What would you say is responsible for this dwindling drive in them to promote cultural values, such as the women from the time you came? You're still here, thank God for that. What would you say is responsible for this dwindling drive? And more importantly, you have come this far. You've held your head up high, and here you are talking to us today. What did you do to keep that drive going, especially in between all that dwindling cultural presence? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Bolanle Awe, and please permit me to adopt all the testimonial that have been said regarding your presentation. I just want to respond to an asked question. And I think Simi has made it my contribution easier for kind of blame. She said, okay, she's ascribing to appearance. And I want to say that our brother here, Madam Laraye, talked about pastors and probably one king's wife that made a comment. But sociology has made us to know that the primary responsibility of socializing a child into society is placed on the parents. So whatever your parents are telling you as a woman is what you take. If your parents are saying that the best place for you as their baby girl is your husband's house, as not to lead, then that is what you will take, no matter what you say. Whatever you need to do against what the parents, like you are rebelling against them. So I'm just going to say that it's the parent. It's the parent that has the responsibility to just make their children pop up the ego of their children, so that you are a woman, yes, but you can be whatever you want to be. You are not made to be in the kitchen. You are made to be in the center of the world to make decisions for the world. So if the parents are still telling their children to say that, hey, so it means that the ultimate is your fault. So it must be said that your future, what is your purpose? Why are you here? So that must be said that the purpose of your coming to this world must be found to be great. So that greatness must be there. Now after somebody graduated from school, you are saying, George Mama Kowale. You're not planning that what is the next thing to do for you. So that must be said. And that's what I'm going to put it to you, man. And growing up, we used to read about Margaret Thatcher, and I used to feel like she was a wicked woman. Yes, she was a wicked woman, but I was, curious, and I began to research into Margaret and achieve greatness for ourselves, and she died recently, and the whole world celebrated her. So it means that, but then in those days when I was growing up, like Margaret was a wicked woman, was an irresponsible woman. That was the picture I had in my head. So it means that, can we say then that the parenting also contribute to this, the level the woman has been in society? Thank you.
My name is Professor Bolanle Awe. I'm an intern here at Yoruba Commission. I want to talk about two things. Simi and Abiodun here basically helped me through. But the first thing has to do with, I'm a young girl. Growing up, I've always had many dreams. Then I finished from the university, finished NYSC. I remember the day I finished my final exam, some of my aunties, the first thing they said was, so when is the guy coming? And I was just like, so there's this picture that no matter what you do, they have to be a man somewhere in the corner. And like Grandma has properly said that it is innate in any Yoruba woman to want to care for her family. So once that family comes in, I just feel like it's like a box. They just make the average Yoruba girl feel like that's the ultimate, like he has rightly said. Then the second thing will have to be language. So until I couldn't speak Yoruba until I was about 12, and that was because I went to a secondary school where you had to learn Yoruba by force. So I have a grandma like you at home that was really, really, really relevant in my Yoruba learning. And I found out that over the years, I've had friends that are Igbo from different tribes. Then I was opportunity to serve in the north, and of all my friends, the northerners are the most decent. And there's one thing I realized is that their language is properly imbibed in their behavior. And I realized that Mama has rightly said that Yoruba is rich. You learn morals, you learn respect, you learn everything in your language. So if you take away that language from an individual, there's just so much that is lost. So I'll just want to say that there's great importance in learning the Yoruba language. Thank you very much.
My name is Olambe Popola. Question is that most Yoruba ladies who later grow up to be women don't know anything about their culture, their food. Some cannot eat amala. They'll say, I prefer rice, I prefer this. Some they cannot greet, some they don't know anything about their culture. What can we do to enlighten them about their culture, to know more about their culture? Because it's like Yoruba culture is degrading every minute, every second, like as if Yoruba culture will not even exist anymore. So I think that's why I decided to ask this question, what can we do to enlighten them? Thank you.
Orúkọ mi ni Adémọ́lá Adésínà Adéfọ́n. Màmá mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gidigidi fún gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀ ìsọ látàárọ̀. Ẹ̀sẹ̀ pa àwọn pẹ̀lú ọ̀tún àwọn ẹ̀dọ̀ kí jáde. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan mẹ́ta ni mo fẹ́ béèrè. Ṣé rí alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ni wípé nígbà tí wọ́n bí àwa táwa gbọ́n jù, wọ́n bí wa sínú agboolé. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá fẹ́ jẹun, inú àwòkọ́ náà láti máa jẹun gbogbo wa pátápátá. Ṣùgbọ́n kí wá ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ tó yẹ pé irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, irú nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí tí wọ́n ṣe ń gbà yẹn kò sí mọ́ ní. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tún ni wípé ṣẹ̀wọ̀n pé ní tí wọ́n bá kọ́lé, wọ́n lè kọ́ yàrá mẹ́jọ, wọ́n lè kọ́ yàrá mẹ́fà bí agboolé. Ṣùgbọ́n pàtó wá yá ó di wípé kò sí wípé kò sẹ́ni tí ò lè lọ́wọ́. Ni wọ́n ní wọ́n sọ pé bá a mọ̀ ọ́ nínú ọlọ́mi. Ìyẹn kọ́kọ́ kúrò ń bẹ̀ tó jẹ́ wípé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó dàbí nǹkan àdáyébá wa ó ti ń kúrò. Ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n pé tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tí ọmọ kan bá wà wọ́n ní ojú kan ló bí wọn ìgbà ojú ló ń ní ó bá wọn dàgbà pé tó bá ṣe kankan báyìí wọ́n á nà. Sọ àwọn ìpè nǹkan tó ń ṣe yẹn ò dáa. Ṣùgbọ́n kí wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ tó yẹ pé irú nǹkan báyìí kúrò. Ìkejì tún ní wípé kí ló wá tún wá ṣẹlẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ilé tá à ń kọ́ ní ìsìn ilé kò sí nǹkan tó fọ́n mi pẹ̀lú ẹnì kejì. Ok, nígbà tẹ́lẹ̀ mi bá kọ́lé lẹ́yìn ìfẹ́ tó wà ní inú lékè tí kò ní lè fẹ́. Ṣé àwọn tó gbogbo ara ń nǹkan báyìí ó ń jẹ́ nǹkan tó yẹ pé àwọn nǹkan ìbílẹ̀ wa bíi Yorùbá pọ̀ tó ń jẹ́ kó máa sáṣẹ́. Èmi lérò wípé o ní question tí mo fi ṣùgbọ́n ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta ni pé ṣé ká sọ pé ọwọ́ òbí ni ìmúra àwọn ọmọ ti máa ń wà ní àbí wọ́n ń wo àwọn nǹkan níta tó pé tọmọ míì bá máa wọ aṣọ míì ẹ̀ ṣe pè fún un. torí pé mo rántí pé kíyàgbé tó kú tá a bá lọ skul báyìí tá a bá dé wọ́n máa ń fi wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ wí ní ojú ọ̀sán báyìí ó dìgbà tó bá sùn wọ́n á rọra jí e ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí wọ́n á fi nẹ́ rọ́bà tó fi ń kórun ó dùn yàn ju pánkẹ́rẹ́ lọ ó dùn yàn ṣùgbọ́n ní ìfìtí wọ́n lọ́wọ́ sí pé àwọn ọmọ ọ̀sìn wọ́n kàn máa ń wọ aṣọ oríṣiríṣi tó bá wù ṣé lọ́wọ́ òbí ló ti wá ní àbí wọ́n kẹ́gbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́ àbí wọn kàn wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé ilé la ti ń kẹ́ṣọ̀ọ́ rè ta.
Orúkọ mi ni Olúwayọ̀mí Ọláìtàn Àgbẹ̀ ọmọ Ìbàdàn lèmi ṣùgbọ́n mo lọ sí àwọn aráàlú ẹ̀ tó wá mi wá. Ẹ̀ ló tí kò kòrò tó ẹbí kò mọ̀ bá tí mo sọ wípé mo ti gbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n mi nígbàgbé orísun mi. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ bèrè mà ó ń jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó ń bà mí nínú jẹ́ tí bá ti rántí àbí tí bá ti ń ka àwọn ìwé ìròyìn nípa nínà obìnrin kéèyàn máa na obìnrin torí mo máa ń sígbà tí mo kéré ìyá mi bàbá mi bá ṣe máa lọlé mo máa rí ayọ̀ yẹn nínú wọn máa rí inú wa máa dùn wọ́n á pàlọ́ fún wọn lálẹ́ wọ́n á ṣe gbogbo yẹn mo rí pé ìrẹ́pọ̀ tó wà láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nínú ìgbéyàwó kò pọ̀ púpọ̀ mọ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀rù á bà bóyá ẹ̀rù á máa bà kó tó máa lọlé pé àwọn ò túmọ̀ nǹkan tó máa bá lélẹ̀ ni o ṣe mọ̀ ọkọ á nà ìyàwó ẹ̀ àwọn míì á gbá wọn lójú àwọn míì á fi bẹ́ẹ̀tì nà wọ́n oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ mà mo fẹ́ bèèrè pé kí ni nǹkan tó ń fà alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ yẹn ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ni wípé àwọn aṣọ wa àwọn àṣà wa bùbá ìró ṣòkòtò ṣọ́rọ́ àwọn aṣọ òkè ẹ̀tù ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ wa iyùn níbo ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ń lọ mà kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé àwọn òyìnbó gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe tó ń wù wá ká fẹ́ ṣe kí ló dé tà lè fọwọ́ báyà wá wípé àṣà títẹ̀ nílé léyìí kí gbogbo èèyàn náà kán wá fara jọ mí bí mo ṣe ń ṣe ẹ ṣe mà.
The question of the token woman in government, I think we have to break that change, and it's the women who have to fight for it. It's a long battle, but it has to be a continuous battle which people have to keep on taking on. When they were trying to draw up a new constitution under the Obasanjo regime, they had 50 women, 50 men, and not a single woman. So the women in Ibadan here, we had a big press conference and criticized it. And then after that, we had another conference and we said that we are not going to tolerate a token woman in government. And we did succeed even in that because we...
Thank you.
We had to go to see the governor of the state there. Because he was choosing us, the token woman said no. So he had to call us, all the women, and he had to explain to us that, well, this part of the country is different from the rest of the world, of the country, in the sense that you could call 2, 3, 4, 5 women here without any difficulty. But in those days, before you could get 1 or even 2 women, it's going to be a tug of war. Eventually, we succeeded in getting 2 people as members of the executive council. But I'm surprised that they have gone back again to the issue of token in this part of the country, because we did succeed then, and as a result of our success, a number of other states had more than 1 woman as token. So it's a question that I think the women have to speak up. The women have to speak up. The women's organizations, I don't know what they're doing, should be able to speak up. And we'd like to also appeal to the media that they should help us to talk about these things and let our views be known. The question of the honesty of I agree with you, and I'm happy about it that I've been watching myself to see whether the woman will be, how one of our women will be one of the victims, but so far, so good. I may have to deal with the fact that the name, it's something, also it's something that we used to value. I mean, in the past, if you were found to be a thief, or you will find it difficult to get anybody to marry your daughter. Because people say, who is going to marry the daughter of the thief? So it may be that there's still a remnant of that with us. And the question of the career and the home front, it's a difficult one, and it's getting more difficult. In the past, as you said, there was the compound. The woman, the trader can go to the market. It's a big compound. There'll be the older women there, and you just leave your child and say, look, going to the market, and you're sure that the older women in the compound will look after the children until you come back without any problem. But as you see, the compound is breaking down. You don't have that now. So it's creating a problem. And in the past, also, some of the market women used to take their children along with them. They just pack them and take them. But that is becoming less and less common too. And the professional women, I feel sorry for them. They are having a very difficult time, the younger women, because they want to get on with their profession, but they also have to keep their home. They have to look after their children, and it's a real tug of war. And we've got all this in the papers about children being dispatched away and so on. You're even afraid to get a house help to help you to look after your children. I think a woman has to make up her mind. You know, what are you prepared to sacrifice? Your career at a certain stage, or your home, your children, and possibly your husband as well. I think that it's really my own thinking is that it will be necessary for the career track not to be as smooth and fast as it will be with a man. But you will get there. And what is more, there are ways in which you can also do it, that even when you're at home, you are not completely lost. You can still be improving yourself, and you can come back to the career. But there's no doubt about it that with the situation as it is now, it looks as if the career will have to make a little bit of sacrifice. I feel really sorry for them, because I know some of them are very brilliant, very achieving, but at the same time they have this challenge of not even just the husband, of the children as well. That because if you don't bring up the children properly, you will regret it in the future. Sorry for it. Circulating the meeting and discussion to suggest that I think it's a good idea. It will have its one day in Abuja or in Ondo or in Nisha possibly. When we talk the Indian drive of money, and which it also might be to do with and also the fact that it's not in our tradition that a woman should remain single. We always expect that the woman will get married and have a home and have children. And in fact, when you do have children, daughters who are not married, you start getting worried and disturbed. And we've all experienced it. I know that that worry, and it was in my celebration when my daughter said she was taking my name. But she was more concerned with her career, and I couldn't really discourage her because I know I was doing career woman, but I was praying and hoping. So there's that problem that one has to. There's no doubt that for the Yoruba, you don't compete until you have a home, until you have a husband, and hopefully and prayerfully you have children as well. That's when you have achieved. And of course, that does not prevent you from also having your career and making a success of it. And I don't think that one should discourage that. I know that people with quite a lot of pennies going around now. no, because I think it's just a question of a woman trying to make the right choice, even for a man. It's not just anybody. You just have to look at, put down your cards. And I think ultimately the man too has desired. Something that you are the right person, you do almost and you are well brought up and so on. They would be interested in getting married to you, but I think the woman too has to play her card and play it in a way that you don't do as if it's a no-go area. You concentrate and realize that you are also well disposed and not throwing yourself at anybody, but exactly not showing people up. The traditional traditional compound, I don't know what we can do about the traditional compound. Nothing that it's broken down completely, and I don't know what we can do about it. This is a situation in which we are not alone. In a place like Lagos, even once we move out of the traditional part, you find that you get all kinds of people living together. So you cannot have that traditional compound again. But I think it's not the physical structure itself that is important. It's the feeling of togetherness, of feeling that you belong and respect. Having meetings, family meetings once a month or once a so where they all meet and they discuss their problems and introduce their children and what they are doing and so on. I think that it's a way of overcoming this breakdown of the physical structure of the family. The question of religion, that's a very serious one, because both the Christian and the Muslim religions seem to have a down on women, which is unfortunate. The Anglican, I belong to the Anglican community, they are still fighting because they want women to become proper priests. They wouldn't allow them even up to now. And they're not happy about it. They teach me all the bars and of course the Muslim religion is the same. But I think, I don't know, I really don't know how we got this and we got it stuck in our heads, because as I said, there are women priests, traditional women priests. Even in fact, I mean, if you look at one of these Arigola's book, there are women priests who are trained to become diviners and so on. And of course, as I said, in our Ogoni, you have the Ogoni, who is a very important person within the Ogoni cult. Same thing with the Shango cult. Even with the Ogoni, where they say the women should not appear, we know that women are also behind it, and the Ogoni here in Ibadan is always followed by a woman. There's always a woman with him, even though it says that no woman must appear on that day. So the issue of the control of women by these imported religions, it's something that the women are fighting, but they haven't won. And as far as the Christians are concerned, we get the impression that the women are the enemies of the women, that some of the wives of the top leaders of the Anglican Church who don't want women priests who will not take the forefront, but that is a surmising, it may not be true. But, we just have to keep on. I don't believe that women should be kept away from the leadership of the church. And as for the women further, I think it is true that in the religion, in the leadership of the religion, they appear not to have too much relevance. But I can say that in the economic sphere, it is just as hardworking and as prosperous as women who are not important have been into some of the places where they stay, and you see they are industrious, they are working. The only thing is that they don't go out, but they have people who hawk all these things for them. And being with another woman's daughter, I didn't feel happy about it for her, but she was quite content. She had more clothes than I could ever have. And she had people were coming to see her, mostly women, of course. And she didn't seem to be feeling that she was losing anything by staying in order.
Thank you very much, Mama. I'll call on Yewande to give the closing remarks.
Please, a song for Mama. Is that possible? Just a song? Oh, yeah, sure.
3, 2, 1.
Mama, oh, Mama, oh, Mama, oh. Olúwa dá màmá sí fún wa. Iye o, iye o, iye o. Olúwa dá ìyá sí fún wa. Mama, oh, Mama, oh, Mama, oh. Olúwa dá màmá sí fún wa. Iye o, iye o, iye o. Olúwa dá ìyá sí fún wa. Mama o, mama o, mama o. Olúwa dá ìyá sí fún wa.
Yes, on behalf of the Director General and the members of staff of the Dawn Commission, we would like to thank you, to express a deep appreciation for accepting to come as the first speaker, for coming at such a time as this. We're so grateful, ma. It's a privilege to have a stage attend that meeting at edition, because it goes a long way for us. We're so grateful. Thank you so much, ma. I'd like to thank also all our invitees. We're so grateful for your attendance. We thank you for your participation. We look forward to another time, the friendship time for us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to have a photo session now.
In spite of everything, the situation of the country, the situation of the original, what advice do you have for younger women in this society? What steps do you think they need to take to be able to be where you desire to achieve?
I think I don't think the women should be we're on. And as the records show that we come from a very good stock, and we shouldn't disappoint. And we can do it. We can make it if we are determined to make it. We should, regardless, do it. And I'm sure we will.
yourself.